The sail from Fiji to New Zealand is considered challenging because it's a long way to go. You're never near a safe harbour, and you inevitably have to deal with the strong southwesterlies as you get further south.
You and me, we're family. The bond that we share is as deep as the sea. No matter how rough things may come to be, you and me, we're family. Sing ho.
So we're just checking out with immigration at the moment. Just doing the paperwork, and then we should be off this afternoon. Well done, Derek.
This is it. We're off. This is the last time we're gonna be on land. This is it. I mean, not the last time, but we've got 10 days of just constant sailing. We're gonna come back here in around a year, but I'm excited, to be honest. I'm very happy to go to New Zealand.
Bye, Fiji. And we're going to take the North Pass out of here, go ashore a bit, put the fishing line out. Anyway, we're off. And so the last bit of Wi-Fi has been used up, downloading books and films and whatever we can, charts, because we're going to be offline for about 8 days.
Exiting the pass, we've got Festina Lente, our friends who we've been sailing with, who are just ahead, and we're just behind them. So soon we'll be able to turn and put up the sails and try and slow sail and make the most of this wind.
This is day 1 of the Fiji to New Zealand passage. Looking forward to arriving, but I'm not looking forward to all of the night watches, all of the high winds, and the risk of falling overboard.
Oh, it's still very hot. People say it gets colder when you get down to New Zealand, but that is definitely not happening yet. People also say there's always a lot of wind, and that's not happening either. There is a tiny bit of wind. We've got just about 4 to 5 knots, and we've had the engine on for quite a while, so we've just poled out the genoa, hoisted the mizzen ballooner, and we still have the mizzen out, and we're just seeing if we can just give the engine a bit of a break for an hour at least. Yeah, we're only making about 3 knots. But we're not burning fuel, so yeah, we just see how long we can bear it, and then we might just have to stick the engine back on. There doesn't seem to be any wind forecast for a few days, so you know, we just got to kind of be patient and go with it.
There's 2 systems which kind of come together in between New Zealand and Fiji, which forms a trough of thunderstorms. We have to hit this trough at some point. So it looks like it's going to be tomorrow evening. We just dropped the ballooner. There's not even enough wind for the mizzen ballooner, so we've dropped that because it's just flapping about and in danger of ripping.
Fish!
This is definitely a big fish, and I'm not sure. Normally the big fish are mahi-mahi, but Dari reckons it's a tuna. But we'll see anyway.
Did you see that fin? It was like a shark. Really?
If you like following our story, please hit the super thanks and help towards the creation of these videos. And if you'd like to have more access, we would love it if you join our Patreon family, where you get ad-free videos, cockpit sessions, downloads, guides, and you can message us directly.
That's a mahi-mahi. Maybe it's just a different type.
It is as well, yeah. Wait.
Oh yeah, that's one. Oh god, this guy's giving up a bite.
So you should be able to grab it now. Mom,
I know I am.
Oh god.
Put it back in the water.
see it's fighting, right? Really fight at that one, you could see, couldn't you? And it's day 3, and my watch is just finishing now. It's really great to turn the engine off and be sailing. And now Ewan's about to go and watch just as the sun comes up. The sun comes up very early, and the days are very long actually, so it doesn't get dark till quite late, and the sun comes up and starts getting light about 4. It's very strange.
Why didn't you wake me up?
I did, I've just woken you up.
Really?
Yeah, just now. We're sailing.
Broken wing, it didn't last a spring. You shoved me out before the nest was cold. I couldn't fly, but God, I tried. I hit the ground and I was on my own, alone in a big blue land with only my legs to stand and no one to lend a hand or to pick me up.
Hi.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get a catamaran out of a shallow area.
Okay, have
So,
a nice evening.
while you're on
Very
watch,
important. It's actually not my watch, it's actually...
yeah, well, you watch, Mum's down the road. So, are you playing a sailing simulator while on watch?
It isn't my watch.
You're at the wheel.
This is going back to your
What? I'm confused. Is this some...
So this is Ewan doing a sailing simulator while on watch.
Okay.
You're gonna...
I'm just trying to get inside a shallow area and you made me run aground on a catamaran.
That's a bit worrying.
Holds me down, I'll never escape the ground to live in the cave.
We're in a kind of a trough between two systems, and it means that there's a lot of cloud, and more often than not there's a lot of thunderstorms, but so far so good. Touch wood, we haven't actually seen any lightning or had any thunderstorms or even rain actually. As the wind whips around the North Island, we don't want to get caught on the east side, so we have to beat into that wind, so we're kind of just giving ourselves a little bit of slack, so we can have a good beam reach around the north end of the North Island. Getting into our routine, I had a good afternoon sleep tonight, so I think I've caught up on the lack of sleep from the night watches. I'm sleeping in the cockpit as the kids do there, an hour and a half. But as I build up more confidence about their abilities, especially trusting them to kind of wake us up if anything's going wrong, it makes me sleep a lot sounder. Sort of about 800 miles to go, and we're only doing about 4 knots at the moment, so we're still looking at about another 9 days. And then Darry's going to take over at 1 o'clock for an hour and a half, and then Arenka for 3 hours, then Ewan for an hour and a half, and then me back and watch at 7 o'clock.
Good morning, it's 5 in the morning, and yeah, it's the weather's kind of closed in a bit, so it's grey skies, there's been a fair bit of lightning and thunder, so I've just moved our course up 30 degrees just to try and go around it. It's a bit of a difficult thing to do though if you don't know exactly where it is, but hopefully not heading straight for it for the lightning. But yeah, Ewan's due on watch in half an hour. But I might have to stay up here if it's kind of continues to be a bit stormy. Okay, we are managing to sail again today. It's kind of passing through this sort of depression, which is giving us this sort of wind, but it's a bit shifty, different sort of, it keeps gusting and then it disappears and coming from different directions. But I think most of the rainy, squally bit is past now. And so it's just like we're heeled right over now. It's always a bit more tiring. Waves aren't too massive though. We're just glad to be sailing really, because we don't want to be motoring and we haven't got enough fuel to keep motoring the whole time. So sailing is good. We're trying to go as far west as possible. It is quite difficult, so we're really close hauled, trying to like head west so that when those winds come round, and they'll be coming from, you know, quite strong winds around the north of New Zealand, we want to be able to either beam reach or head down. We just don't want to be beating up into those winds, so we're heading west to try and avoid that. So that's the plan anyway. I think the weird thing is we haven't actually seen any wildlife. No dolphins, no whales, a few birds here and there. We're not fishing at the moment because, well, we should get the line out really, but we'd have to slow down. So do we want fish or do we want speed?
A fair bit of wind and right on the beam as well. So that's kind of optimum point of sail. We're doing between 8 and 9 knots, which is great. I'm just waiting for a rinker to come up any moment and tell me to put a reef in. But while she's asleep, we can make some way.
So I was going to make a lasagna. It's like the lasagna sheets of all the things, you know, the little mite things you get over all your stuff, and they're not huge, but there's lots of them. So I'm going to pick them all off before anyone notices. This is boat life, honestly. Everyone gets them. It's not just our boat. You get. I mean, our friends spend hours picking out stuff off their rice.
So my mum's just making an apple pie, and since our friends at Festi and Lente made a mean apple pie, we're going to try and do one that's slightly similar.
No pressure.
Apple pie was nice to me.
Yeah, they make the most delicious pies. We've been at all their birthday parties and they always have the apple pie.
The Netherlands.
Yeah, it's a Dutch pie and it's her dad's recipe, Anna's dad's recipe, and it's so delicious.
Saying is there ain't no better reason to rid yourself of vanities and just go with the seasons.
The gas has just gone out. We shouldn't have gone out because we should have enough, because it will last way longer than that. Maybe it's just gone out with the wind or something. How's the lasagna?
This is awesome. I love it.
How's the lasagna, Darrock? And the garlic bread? Good. Nice.
All right now.
You've got a lure.
Flying fish.
How did that get in? That's actually like good enough to do.
Okay, this is day 5, I think, and yeah, there's still not a whole load of wind. We've been motoring all night, but I don't know, we've got about 5-6 knots of wind, so I just turned the engine off to give it a bit of a break. We're only going about 2 knots, but it's flat sea, so it's fine, it's not bouncing about too much. And yeah, we're nearly halfway. I think we're about halfway now. So yeah, what are we doing? Darry's animating on his with his new app, and Ewan's shaving Woody's head.
So I'm just shaving Dad's hair right now because I don't know why he let me, but it's satisfying. Really satisfying. Why are you letting me do this?
Seeing as the sea is fairly flat today, we're having a bit of a hair cutting session off the back of the boat.
So apart from looking after ourselves, we also have to keep an eye on the amount of solar power going in to keep our batteries topped up.
Yeah, let's find out about this animating app that Darry's got.
It's called Toon Squid, and not many people know about it. There's like no reviews on YouTube. It's like, and before this I was using Flipperclip, and seriously I don't think I'll ever look at Flipperclip again because it has all the things that a professional animating thing has.
So yeah, we don't really do a lot of the textbook schooling on Passage generally. We just got into that sort of habit, I suppose, from the beginning, because it was always quite choppy in the meds, and it's quite tiring doing watches as well and just kind of keeping it going.
A lot of kids actually do school on Passage, but instead of doing school on Passage, we've decided to do night watches instead.
So we listen to podcasts or sort of animation, or sometimes watch documentaries.
So night watches, basically you have to watch out to make sure you're not hitting any boats or anything, and I wake up at 1 and I do a watch till 2:30, and I'm just making sure that nothing happens bad to the boat.
I suppose it's a different kind of discipline really, being responsible for the boat on watch, and getting up on time, and you know, doing that watch for the whole period of time, not losing concentration. So, and we sort of worked quite hard just before we left, and we'll probably get back into the zone again of working, you know, every day on textbook schooling when we get there. So, you know, we're always aware that there'll be a kind of passages coming up. We don't really take holidays, so, you know, while people are on half term, we're on Passage. It's windy, but we're moving nice and fast. We're going nearly 7 knots. And we're racing Festina Lente again.
How fast are they going?
They are going, okay, yeah, they're going 7.2. They're actually going faster than us, but I don't know why they're not overtaking us. Or maybe they are, it just doesn't look like they are. Anyway.
Because Mothership is too fast.
Check out his butt. So again, we've got no wind, even though the forecast says we should have between 9 and 11 knots. We've actually got 4, which is not enough to sail by. We were hoping by this time this will be our final run into New Zealand, so we'd get like about 3 or 4 days of really good sailing. But I don't know, the forecast really flummoxed us on this passage, and you know, as soon as we think we're getting going, we hit a nice bit of wind, maybe between 10 and 15 knots, it just dies, and then we're kind of floundering about using more fuel. And it's not really pleasant because we've got a slight following wind, which brings the diesel exhaust fumes into the cockpit. It makes for a really unpleasant ride, really. So it's nice to see that we've got our buddy boat Festina Lente still on our starboard side. We did get almost 10 miles ahead of them when we were motoring the other day, but they've caught up. They do obviously do better in light winds than we do, being a catamaran.
And we got some wind today, which is fantastic. We hope it keeps up, but it keeps shifting direction, so I hope we're not going to be beating into it. But it's so changeable, you can only really take every day as it comes on this passage, I think. So it's my night watch. I'm on from 2 till 5:30, but it's one of those nights where the wind's kind of picked up, gusting up to 30 knots, and we've got 2 reefs in the main, 3 in the Genoa, and 3 in the mizzen, but it's hard to kind of point on our course really. We're kind of on a beam reach, but we really want to be going a bit more upwind, but because of the conditions it's quite difficult. We're just kind of going east, well not east but southeast. But anyway, hopefully when it dies down we can start heading a bit more southwest. Can't really get the feel of it in the night, but when the sun comes up then I'll try and video the conditions out there. Okay, that's to try and give you a bit of a feel of what it's like out here early this morning. Ewan's supposed to come and watch in about half an hour, but I think I'll stay up because until this calms down a bit really. But yeah, my watch is going to carry on.
Thank you for watching and enjoying these videos. So if you're the type of person that would like to thank us in return, then you can simply click on the Super Thanks button below, or otherwise you can support us on Patreon and get more than just 4 videos a month from as little as $3 a month. We look forward to seeing you there.